To the main interview segment of the New Dawn. And now we want to talk about our health sector. There's something that has been happening for about 8 weeks now, and the people in the sector, especially unions that are different groups of associations that form this union, are saying that they have to collect what they need to collect from the federal government, and the federal government must accept and agree to all terms that they demanded for. Now the industrial strike from JOHESU, that is joint health sector unions across Nigeria, has entered 8 weeks. By January 14 or 15, it becomes 8 weeks. They've been they've been working without the full authority, and they are saying they are not backing down because the federal government is not yielding to their demands. And now we have two gentlemen from this union who will be telling us what the agreement is and what they stand to gain with this industrial action. We have Comrade Olatunde Olatoku, who is the coordinator, Tertiary Health Consultative Forum, Southwest in Armies. Comrade Olatoku, good morning, you're welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Nigeria.
All right, we have also Comrade Sharafuddin Famuyiwa, the Chairman Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, the Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta branch. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Nigeria, and all of the states.
My colleague is also here. We'll be doing the program together.
Yeah, you are welcome to the studio. Let me start with Comrade Sharafuddin. Why is JOHESU on strike? We need to, remind viewers at home why you are on strike, and also what are the key issues driving this dispute?
Good morning, Nigerians. Let me start this way. We have been on this struggle since 2009. Started 2009. We are using one platform to getting our salary then, both the doctors and other health workers. But in 2009, that time, they changed it to the coins and comments. And there's an agreement that time that any time they change A or B of that, there must be total changes for the board.
Okay.
But when in 2013, the federal government did same with the comments without touching the coins that time.
Okay.
That's where the problem started. And we keep calm that time. We signed an MOU, we went to court, and in 2016, same thing happened. And also, we won at the industrial court at that time because there is an MOU, which is Memorandum of Understanding, with the federal government and the Ministry of Health. But we all know that federal government will bias. I'll try to say this. We are not fighting doctors, neither the nurse. I get it. Let me say this, Sama. So to change the orientation of our public users, anytime we are coming to an hospital, please let us stop saying that I want to see doctor. It's not only doctor that want to see. Before you can see doctors, there are some people that you need to see before going to the doctors directly. Let me mention the account section, the records personnel, even the gate man that will direct you to where you are normally going. Do you get it? But these are saying doctor. After saying doctor, let me give you an example in an FMC where I'm working. We are using electronic platform right now. From the records to the account section to the nurses to the doctor. You can see. From the nurses to the pharmacy or wherever, either pharmacy or the other, maybe physiotherapy, wherever you are going, other clinics. So we are missing the things. Maybe people don't understand the health workers' profession.
I want to believe that when you have ailments and you are coming to the hospital, you really don't want to think about some of those, the gatesman,
you think about your
Messiah,
Well,
let's talk about other demands. Let's talk about some of other things that you are asking, or do we say that this is the main reason why there is dispute between the JOHESU and the federal government?
No.
Okay.
We have other demands. But that cost adjustment is the main issue, main reason. But some other things under that platform. The hospital service is not working very well. Let me give you an example. When patient came to an hospital to see a physician or other things, and let me tell you, some patients we came to an hospital, when I'm asking doctor, a doctor will dictate that, well, you don't need drugs. The doctor can refer the person down to the psychiatric professional or social worker. That what happened to you is not about drugs. It can only be cancer.
It doesn't to be cancer.
I'm telling you.
Okay. So that also falls under your...
Under my jurisdiction. Under the health worker.
Let me ask Comrade quickly before my colleague, Comrade Olatokun, what's the implication of this Congress? And because it seems we need to let people at home understand why there is dispute on it. What is the implication for health workers?
Well, once again, good morning, the Nigerians and the Ogun State people. I want to appeal to them for their endurance in the commencement of our strike. We all know that when there is a disputation, a strike is an evil wind that blow anybody anything good. Like we all say that we unions, we are not strike mongers. One of our major prerogative is to do our job the way we know how to do it. The institution whereby the government is not creating a divider rule with the system, this is where we are. Well, coming back to what you asked me about the issue of comments or cohorts, it is when the government want to create a divider rule, we are all the same child of federal government. We are all the same child of federal minister of health. But when the government now decides to say, okay, you are for Peter, you are for Apollo, this is where the problem comes. Like my colleague just said, right from the onset, we have been receiving salary on the same platform. But when the government came with the idea of comments and cohorts, that separates us from we are doctors, we are health workers. Now, even when you look at the structure right from the onset is deficient. There is a lot of deficiency in it. And at the end of the day, we're able to put things together then and say, okay, once there is any adjustment of comments, then there is the adjustment of cohorts. And since that time, the government has been doing as if it is only doctors that hold the hospital. And in a situation like this, we patronize the same market. We don't have a choice than to get to where we are today. So it is the government that creates a disparity between us. It is, and to the best knowledge of the way they know how to do it. And this is the level where we are.
Okay, let me continue with you, Comrade Olatokun. Now, joint health sector unions, can you mention those unions you have under you and what is their duty? If we are saying that the federal government is prioritizing some, let me say, the medical doctors against you, and you are not liking that preference treatment, and it is part of the implementation that you want from the federal government. Who are the unions? What are the unions and what do they do? What is their role in this health sector?
Fine. That's a very beautiful question because when you look at it, when we talk about joint health sector union, this is just an acronym. It is the union, the conglomerate of unions have come together to form joint health sector union. And who are those unions? That's why we have medical and health workers union that people popularly call MAHU in the hospital. We have the Senior Staff Association, South to Right. We have a NUHAB, the Union of Allied Professionals. Those are the ones that control all the health professionals, people like pharmacists, people like lab scientists, physiotherapists, and some others like that, apart from the nurses. Then we have a NASU, the non-academic that control basically majority of them are the junior staff that make up the hospital. Before, we have nurses in our midst before, but they are pulled out.
Okay, they are with the doctors?
No, that's not.
Oh, they are separate.
They are alone. So, these are the 4 unions. Before we are 5, now we are 4 that make up a joint health sector union. And these are the people that are making that voice now for the government to know that the level of treatment we are being treated in the health sector is nothing to write about. We are not a second studio. Doctor decides to go to a medical school. I decide to study what I study. So we are not talking about, we are not fighting for the headship.
Okay.
Because the hospital work is like a team work. It's like a player on the field. There must be a captain. We are not contesting the leadership of who head the health sector. But what we are talking about, let there be harmony and peaceful cohesion within the system.
Okay, talking about the disparity. The disparity, does it come with a salary structure? Or what? Because I know if the federal government wants to employ, they will use a certificate and what your capacity is or the line that you are going to. So what disparity is your union fighting for?
Fine. The disparity is so among us that if I continue to analyze it here, you also look at it. Number 1, let's start from the point of entry. When a doctor, a qualified doctor today that does his house officer, go for the NYC and start a job with the federal government today, it starts with level 12.
Okay.
That is level 13.12. Now, when a pharmacist they also went to the same school that the doctors went, graduating after the internship and the NYC program, start with course 9, step 10. Now, between course 9 and course 12, that means that pharmacist will have to do a promotion to course 11 and to course 12. That makes it, before it will meet up with that, the new doctor that just get a job 6 years ahead. 6 years ahead. That's number 1. Now, for the average accountant in the hospital, they also went to university for go for his NYC program and start a job with the federal government. He's going to start with coin 7, step 2. Coin 7, step 2. Now, what does that imply to us? Before that person that starts with coin 7, step 2, we get to coin 12. We are talking of almost 14 years. Now, the doctor that starts with coin 12 is already at the chief consultant in the hospital, ready to take over the hospital job. To take over the hospital job, I mean, is that to take over maybe as the MD, if God willing for him. So that's to tell you the level of disparity within the system. Then that is one. Talking about the salary is another different thing that is very crazy. Well, I don't want to say this so that it will be a kind of, maybe we are attacking the doctor, castigating. And we have said, let me go by the salary that we all receive. But don't let me leave that area. But when we talk about the salary, when you look at it,
obviously someone on level 12 and level 7.
You look at yourself that, what am I doing in this system? But upon the whole, we still put all the best that we can do, but we are not being appreciated by the government. I'm not blaming the doctors. Because they find their way to get to where we are, to where they are. But we are not asking for our own. If it is truly we belong to the same family, according to them, then give us what belongs to us. That's the bone of contention.
Okay,
all right. Comment,
yeah.
Let me ask, what's the 55 days ongoing strike? What's the current status of the strike? Has the government called? Has there been any negotiation? Has there been any meeting at all with the government?
Yeah, thank you, moderator. Well, like I said, when we started the strike in November 14, the government has constituted maybe after 4th week or 5th week there, headed by one of the governor of Edo State and one other governor from Imo State. And let me tell you this about these government gimmicks. We have wrote a series of MOU, setting up different committees about this matter. And don't forget, the electionary time is nearer. And we have issued them different letters. You know, before you can commence any industrial strike, that's a procedure.
Yes.
You cannot just wake up in the morning and say you are going on strike. It's a total rubbish. I get in the summer. Now we have written to them separately. A day to that struggle that we went. Today, our own President Tinubu, have never said a word about this. In 2023 that we went on strike, the last strike that we went, that was in 2023, personally, President Tinubu came out and said to our leadership there, hey, don't worry, call off the strike. Everything will be settled. When the number one citizen has said that, we need to answer. Since we went back to work, nothing was done. And we signed an MOU that time. This time around, now set up another committee again. The committee has been set up that doesn't understand what is really ongoing. But Sama, let me tell you this. The problem that we are having is from the Federal Ministry of Health.
Okay.
You will tell me to explain why. God bless you, Sama. Ministry of Health was headed by doctors, the both ministers, the state and the full minister. Minister party was the doctor. Our own doctor that from this state, Dr. Isaac, is also a doctor, former commissioner of this state. Look at the ministry, sir, where we have the permanent secretary. He said that doctors are not that. You can only have 2 non-doctors at the ministry, maybe the directors, HR, that's human resources, and the finance. And you are now saying that we want to set a committee. Let's put this as an example that we set a committee of 7 that we have.
So the committees set by the federal government are outside the Ministry of Health.
They are within.
They are within.
But they are made up of doctors and not full members.
Okay. Full members of your union.
Of our union.
Okay. So they won't know.
They will know because we have a majority doctor. Maybe 2 people that are not doctors were there. We cannot win it because they will win to their side. Let me take you back in when Baba OBJ then, Obasanjo was the president of this country. We have someone, is an economist and administrator. Itayo Lambo, yes, Minister Lambo. Then, is it Itayo or wherever? I remember the name. He's not a doctor. You can see how that man performed that time, administratively. He balanced it up. Like my senior colleague has said, we are not fighting for the head chief. But we are fighting for the equity, not the same. You know that, okay, when somebody came from the school, starting from 12, we are not contesting that. Now, when you went to school, you studied journalism. I went to school to study social work, clinical social worker. That's my field. I get in a salary. I'm not contesting that.
Okay.
but for the government to do the needful. Sir, maybe some days ago they brought out a circular again about the extension of the years of service. But, well, for now, let me just relax. So
Now, you mentioned the issue of the committee and being made up of major league doctors. Has there been reaction? Has there been a formal letter from JOHESU to the Federal Ministry of Health to show your disapproval or to, in any way, to let them realize that this committee is not balanced from your own perspective?
Well, we should know the government parties. It's just the government parties. When government want to kill any issue in Nigeria, they will say, let us set up a committee. You know, they want to kill that issue. At the end of the day, after everything, you still see that committee will not even fit. That has been their way. And that has been their practice. We know. So we are not even part of. Now, what is the committee saying? Committee is saying either the job evaluation. And what do that job evaluation? Okay. Before our own coins to be adjusted, government want to know how individual works in the center. They are trying to challenge the Honorable Minister of Health today and Social Coordinating Minister that let him go back to the history. There had been a minister before him. In 2004, there's a minister called Professor Abeokuta, a professor of pediatrician, who came from abroad under the leadership of President Olusegun. Because of the knowledge the woman was bringing then, he knew that there are a lot of loopholes in the system, in the health sector. The woman set up this type of committee, job evaluation committee, to review how we work in the health sector. And the committee sat, and the report was submitted. That report is still within the seat of the Honorable Minister today, Professor Alipati. Let him go and review that committee.
But
the report of that committee.
2004 today.
Yes,
I think we need.
The reason why the woman was disgraced out of the system then, because that committee, the report of that committee was very favorable with the doctors. In fact, the report of that committee is even more favorable to the health attendant in the system. The people that the health attendant, the people that
the 2004 review is still very relevant.
It's still very, very relevant because what has changed in the health sector? They should come and tell us what has changed. Are we using AI? What has changed? Our mode of practice is still the same way we do it. And it is just, the government just want to buy time, create a committee as if they are doing anything on it. And that's why the union stand firm this time around and say, no, we are not review our coins, we are not going back.
Okay, now let's go back to the strike. Do you think JOHESU is giving the justifiable situation right now? Because it is almost 8 weeks. And if the joint unions are not working, that means you're leaving only the doctors and the nurses to the job, and you are down tools. What happens to the people you swore to take care of? What happens to the environment that you must take care of for almost 2 months? Are you not worried?
Well, as a human being, if I'm telling you I'm not worried, I'm only deceiving myself. Because the structure of our system is like anything could happen at any time. So, number one, we just have to appeal to the public that it's because we have been pushed to the wall. We also have families. Blood runs in our veins. We have emergency to take care of. The government should do the needful. Then the other part of it is that does the government even see that we are on strike? I'm telling you this today. This is a national TV. The government doesn't even see that we are on strike.
Both parties not feeling too big to call themselves to a dialogue. Because you are saying the government do not know, or they are not showing signs that you are on strike now. But you are coming out regularly to tell the federal government that they should come to your aid. Have they called you? Did you answer? As your union answered the call of the federal government, did the federal government call you to any meeting?
That is the reason why I'm saying, does the government even know that we are even on strike? We don't need to deceive ourselves. This same government has been so defiant that they have not even called a meeting. They only call a meeting once.
Since the 55.
If it is truly the patronized Federal Medical Center, if it is truly the patronized University Hospital by Duguri, if they go to usage, they will know what's happening there. Because they spend our money on medical tourism. So they don't know maybe anything existing. They don't even care who are those people, JOHESU people. What are they?
What does it mean?
Now, the NAD, one of the arms of MMA, issue a threat that they are going on strike
on Monday.
By Monday. You know that the minister has spoken once on that issue. The Minister of State has also spoken once on that issue on the national television. They even make the JOHESU issue as irrelevant issue. And that's the level that we are. That we are not a second fiddle in the system. We are also a stakeholder. We deserve to have the best. The same way you look at the doctors as if they are the gods. Look us as if because the doctor cannot do it all. And that is the position.
So, Famu, are you saying that the union is not going to compromise? We are counting months now. This is the second month running. Are you not going to compromise? We should look at the people that you want to give the service to.
Thank you, moderator. Like my party coordinator has said, we are ready. But government doesn't give room for that because you don't even see us as someone that who is JOHESU. Like my senior colleague has said, JOHESU that comprises, apart from the nurse and doctors, all corners now in the hospitals are JOHESU. If you remove doctors and nurses, so who are those? And I think that doctors and nurses were at work. What they can do? They cannot do anything without us. So we are ready for dialogue. Not only for dialogue, for the table to release and the adjustment should be released. So that's the only solution.
You spoke about the resident doctors' threat to embark on strike come Monday. Now I want to know whether you have a similar demand. You have because harmonized demand for that, because I remember there was a time the chairman of the resident doctor, the FFC Abeokuta chapter was here, and he was talking about some of the things that they are doing not alone to ensure that there's harmony, so there won't be this issue of interest from both parties. Do you also align with the plan, or what are you working out to ensure that when the reason why I'm asking this is that sometimes I ask that question and I also want you to address it. Sometimes you see resident doctors go on strike, they end the strike 2 weeks after JOHESU also embark on a strike to demand for something possibly similar or something that is of interest, just like that. I'm always asking, do you all plan this together? Let's go 2 weeks. Let's go this period. When we come back, you all go. Now, 2 questions I want to know. If you have an harmonized plan for some of these demands, and do you also plan this? Because we need to ask.
Well, thank you. Just unfortunate, the leadership of the NAD or MMA is different from the leadership of JOHESU. But we are in the same market because we patronize the same market. And who is that market? Ministry of Federal Government. So they are like, they are our mothers, our fathers, that we all cry to when we are in need. That's why I say, just unfortunate that the whole thing is getting muddled up within at the same time. But talking about our demand, do we have something relevant? Yes, we have something relevant. They have their own, that they are more professionals that affect them. Same, we have our own that more professional that affect, and we have the collective ones.
Okay.
Like the issue of today, government is telling us some areas that I will take, the doctors will take. So at the end of the day, when they are bringing out their demands, the areas will be there. When we are bringing out our own demands, the areas will be there. So those are the little things at times that bring our collective bargaining together. But it's not that we all start together at the same time to say, let us go at this time. Everybody see, well, this is time we can patronize the market so that we can get what we need to get. And that is what is happening.
Okay, so let's talk about the budget of the federal government towards all Nigerians. And this budget is what all sectors will divide within themselves and they will use. Do you think the health budget of this country will carry all the demands of health unions that are demanding, the doctors are demanding, the nurses are demanding, JOHESU is demanding, and all other sectors from the health sector too will want to demand what they want from this budget? Do you think we have enough budget to go around so that all the strikes that we have maybe annually will stop or will not occur at all?
Well, when we are talking about the budget, how much is the budget of health in 2026?
We have to consider education.
We have to consider because it is part of the implementation process. They will look at what they have before they can implement.
I agree that, you see, when we talk about budget, it's very good to budget. But let us talk about implementation. Implementation is one of the major keys about the budget. Even if the government says we are approving 5% of the total budget to health, at the end of the day, when it comes to implementation, maybe 1% is going to be implemented. And within that 1%, we're talking about corruption. That are deep in the system. So a lot of things are there that hinder budget, that does not make budget to work. Are you getting it? And the other chunks of all these things we are talking about is even being taken away by the public officers. Those money they are using to go for medical tourism in UK, in India, in France, in other states. On which budget? Do you know how much Nigeria is spending on medical tourism annually? Over $1 billion. Now, if that $1 billion comes to the system in the health sector alone, do you know what that $1 billion will do to revitalize our system? But they decide to take it outside and enjoy it within themselves and their families. So, attention, we are talking about budget. I laugh. Even if it is 5% that is allocated to the health sector, and that 5% is fully implemented to the letter, we will see the effect. Talking about a 15% or 20% that is allocated to the health sector, and at the end of the day, it is only 1% that is going to be implemented. And corruption will also take the larger chunk of the whole money. So what are we talking? Who is deceiving who? These are the level of things our country has gotten to that we need to ask before there will be a total collapse of the system.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Let's talk about. I'll go back to some of the demands.
Okay.
I know from what I gathered that there's something they call professional allowance.
Yes.
I want you to talk about that. Retirement age. Is the government working on what? Have they met any of the demands? Retirement age. Let's talk about the fact that you are seeking improved welfare packaging, including tax waivers on allowances. I want you to explain some of these things, if there are, any has been done at all, And so people at home can understand what professional allowance is,
and they will not see that they are only fighting for the leadership.
No, the professional allowance we are talking about, the harmonized circular was just released lately last year, even though we have been on it for a very long time. The government just brought up a circular middle of last year that the whole union rejected it. Just bring us a circular. Nobody, you don't have a consultation with anybody. Before the harmonized one was released, maybe around late November or close to December last year, and that the implementation will start from January 2026, may take effect from 2024. So that one is there. But the issue is the level that we have. Is the government even sincere? Because based on what we have, even the professional allowance we are talking about is not even reflected in the 2026 budget. So now that is why the land is saying, when you look at what they are a part of the agitations, they are saying there must be an implementation of that professional allowance if they eventually go on strike on Monday. That we must see the genuinity and sincerity of the government, that it has to start effect. So you see, the government is not showing any kind of sincerity in what they are doing. The issue of tax we're talking about, I think it's a public domain now. But when you look at the tax, if I tell you the tax I pay now on my salary, I'm paying close to 100,000.
For tax?
On my salary. I don't know
annually or
annually
on monthly basis.
Monthly.
Because virtually every allowance is being taxed. And that was not the way it was before. Government will just bring, we just realize that they say they have done this to you. In the right hand, they will use the left hand to collect virtually. But the inflation is also there too. I was listening to one of the national TV stations this morning, talking about our stock exchange, how it has skyrocketed and we are making more money based on the level of how the naira was being depreciated, and that is why our stock exchange is making more money. We are talking about trillions, but in terms of that trillion, what is the value? And that is the level where the country is. The government is not sincere. We are not seeing the openness and genuinity with what the government is doing. The government needs to open up and be sincere to what they are doing, so that the citizen will have a trust in what they are doing. Nobody trusts what the government is doing. And the situation whereby a trust is lacking, we always find ourselves in this position.
Let's talk about the reforms that you have identified. It's one thing to identify a problem and another thing to give solutions. Since you are the one working directly in these facilities of the federal government, what do you think the federal government should come in as a matter of urgency now to do? There have been forums for you to discuss all of these, but at this point that it is an emergency case according to what you have been saying, what is the priority now for government hospitals, for the people to enjoy the government? And if the government hospitals are not enjoyable, even if you are sick, you should enjoy the moment you are there. What is the reform that you think is priority for the government and for the people now?
Thank you, moderator. Well, you are directing that to me. Maybe I can advise the government.
Yeah, we want your advice. Since you are the one working.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I can say this. Government knows better than I do. And there is an adage that says you can't know beyond your nose. Like I said, so like some days ago, the minister came on here about one of the national TV. I'm talking about the state minister of health and coordinator minister, the person of Dr. Isaac Salako. When he came on board, started talking about the NMA stores, and later he came in to discuss briefly about the JOHESU matter. And I was just listening. Yeah, what does that mean? Like I said, the next sector is the division of labor. It's like a football team. where we have the strikers and then the defender and the goalkeeper. When the striker said that he cannot work with the defenders, it means the team will totally lose the match. So right now, the only thing I can advise the government is that they should go back to the agreement they had with the JOHESU. Like my seniors have said, we are not saying that we are fighting the headship of the hospitals or the ministry. The sincerity about this is that what's good for us should be taken care of. Like I said, in 2014, 3 times they increased the other salary scale, the comment, and they left the comments, left the coins without doing anything. But I believe if the government can do that, there is no problem.
You talked about
welfare packages.
It's part of it. The welfare package is part of it. We cannot just measure, okay, let me give you back this. In 2019, we have the outbreak of the COVID-19. That time, we were the work front that is working. I can say this categorically on here today. When the outbreak came out, the first thing that the disease affected in our own domain here in Abeokuta is non-doctors. That person was rushed down to the COVID, centers in Ikene. It's only God that revived that person. Tell me. None of our members also, she's a nurse, that was died about that issue. I get it. Today, there's an allowance that was set up that they should be given to us. Today, we have not gotten that COVID-19 allowance. They are still owing us. Look at that year, 2019, today. Like my the first cousin has said, the government was not sincere about the arrangement. They can just come out today and say, we are planning. Well, okay, Dr. Farago was saying that we have prepared this allowance, we have this. Ask the minister, have they done it? Have they issued a warrant on that? Have they paid? They are just saying something that, now we are now electionary time now. And if care is not taken, we can be on this life for 6 months. It means the government was not sincere about the public.
Comrade,
we don't want it to get there, please.
He talked about the agreement that the federal government had with JOHESU. I want to know, was there an earlier agreement? What did you agree on?
No, I was laughing when you are asking that agreement. And what came to my mind is, I remember one of the prominent position I hear today. Agreement. I'm not mentioning any names, but I know that people here that dance and say agreement and agreement. So, and that's the level we have. Agreement made, not for fear. Thank God for the government was saying now that they have been able to find a way around the ASU issue. The agreement of the agreement in 2009 has been resolved. Let them resolve the health sector also. The same year the agreement of ASU was made, the same year the agreement of JOHESU was also made. In time of Jonathan. We are appealing to the government. Government continue to tell us that we have more than enough in this country today. The same government that subsidies removed. The same government that say the effects should stabilize. The same government that say everything should be taxed. So if the Nigeria can endure with you, endure with us too. Fulfill our agreement. The little peanut that we want to get. When we are supposed to say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, we are aware about our problems. We are aware about our challenges. And that has been your normal statement that you know what Nigeria is going through. For how long should we continue to give you time? Nigerians are dying because of hunger. Workers are on strike. People cannot access Medicare. please do the needful. The agreement of 2009 JOHESU, the way you have rightly done to ASU, if it is true that you have done to ASU, please do our own too. We also come back on here like this, and thank you.
Okay, I think with what I've been able to gather, you are not trusting the federal government totally.
Do you trust the federal government?
I do, because they are making some arrangements and they're coming out publicly to say it by themselves.
Let us see the arrangements. Let us see.
I think you should have a level of trust in them. If you do not have a level of trust, how do you not believe what they are going to do?
Fine. Government that make agreements in 2009, 14 years ago. We have been going to them, and they make us realize that every government, the government are continuous. Have you aware about that language before?
Yeah,
that the assets and liability, once another government comes, we are taking over. So we are the assets, we are the liability of the government. So I will continue to remind them that we have an agreement with us. The way politicians will say agreement and agreement, we also say agreement and agreement. Even if the government is doing that agreement today, does it make up the value that we should have gotten in 2009? That's another area where we also need a compensation from the government. Because if I put that money in bank in 2009, I know how much I will have gotten by now.
Interest.
So let the government be sincere. The government is not sincere. Let there be a sincerity of purpose. And that is what is killing this African government in Nigeria. The citizens don't have trust in their government. And in a way whereby trust is lost, even in a way where a husband cannot trust his wife, or a wife cannot trust her husband, it brings the problem. And that is the level where we are. Everybody is afraid because of what the government do tomorrow. We don't even know what they are doing now. Talking about what they are going to do tomorrow. So please, people in the media, we are also using this opportunity to help us tell the government, because we know that your own salary in the media set very robust one. So please, we are using this opportunity to help us tell them, because they always see you on television on a daily basis. They don't see us. It is only this time that they can see us. Let us help us tell them.
Well, we are here.
That you have an agreement with JOHESU. Please fulfill it.
Well, we are here for everybody.
Everybody.
But what I think is, just like you mentioned, the issue of the committee. I think if you've really hit the nail on the head, and talking about the fact that that committee is made up of mostly doctors.
Conglomerate of doctors.
So I think what are you doing to actually? I think this is the genesis or the foundation of moving this issue forward.
Are you fighting from afar?
Yes, I've asked before. I just really want to. What are you really doing to ensure that the federal government will bring more members into this committee, so you will have a very strong voice? Because you're feeling already that with the sitting of this committee or without whether you are already defeated in numbers. What are you doing to ensure that the number increases? I mean the number of JOHESU or in this committee, because I think that is the main thing that possibly you should be looking at.
Thank you very much. Let me be sincere with you. This issue has gone beyond the issue of committee.
Okay.
Like I said, when the government wants to kill any issue in Nigeria, they will say let us set up a committee. That committee is just to down the tension. On our own part, everything committee wants to do, let them go and do. On our own part, we know where we are going, and where we are going now, government fulfilled 2009 agreement with JOHESU. Basic.
So no backing down now.
There's no backing down. In fact, we have gotten a very strong information that by this month there will be no work notice. Let me also use this opportunity to tell our members.
So you've been receiving salary before now?
We have
even till this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let us also use this opportunity to tell our members, if it is true or false, if at the end of the day salary is not paid this month, please prepare for it that you can't get two things at the same time. You must make a sacrifice.
Sure.
If the sacrifice For us to live a better life tomorrow, we must do it now. Prepare for no work, no pay. If at the end of the day it comes to that level, then we are not backing down. That's the bone of contention.
We have like 3 minutes more. The federal government is also talking about the resident doctor reacting to their threat of embarking on strike. They said the issue with the resident doctor is structural and policy issue. I want to know whether it is similar to yours. Is it structural? Is it policy issue, so to say? Because we've mentioned some of the demands. I want to now look at it holistically. Does it fall under this
structural?
Well, Nigeria is a place where we all know where our grammar is bigger than our level of education. I don't know what the government means by structural and policy issue. But in our own terms, that I know, you fulfill an agreement with us. I don't know about NAD because I'm not spokesperson of NAD. I'm not here to speak for NAD. NAD, I'm very sure they will speak for themselves.
They've already reacted.
I know they will speak for themselves because we have very articulate people in that place too. So in our own case, it's the government that knows the structural and policy. I don't know. The simple language I understand is that you have an agreement with us. Fulfill our agreement with us. The same way you come to us that for election is coming out, vote for us, we do this, we do that, we vote for you. What do we get in return? Failure. Let the government do the right thing. Okay. I'm not aware about the structural and policy. I don't want to even hear that one because it's just a place, it's a way of pulling things down when they are not ready to do anything.
Okay, family, as we leave, what is the future for those who will be using these government facilities? We don't want the strike to linger. What is your assurances for people who want to use that?
Well, my advice to the public is that, like I said earlier, we are also a patient like them. They should keep calm, which I believe in.
Okay, we need to leave. Thank you, comrades, for coming on the program. We have had the comrade Olatunde Olatokunbo, who is the coordinator of Tertiary Health Consultative Forum Southwest on the program. Thank you for coming. And also we had comrade Sharafaddin Famuyiwa, the chairman, Medical and Health Workers Unions of Nigeria, FMC Abeokuta branch. Thank you so much. Taiwo, we need to leave.
Yeah, let's be hopeful. Everything will be good and better. That's it this morning. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.